Back in session today after GOP leaders were working over the weekend on the state budget, which is due this week.
Yeah, and Mike, lawmakers have not yet reached an agreement for the fiscal years of 2022 and 2023. News 5's Meg Shaw joins us live now. And Meg, there's a lot more on the line that lawmakers are trying to work through right now than just the budget.
Yeah, Kevin, the state budget really breaks down of how the state will dish out money for government services. Well, right now, Ohio's senators are pushing for policy changes from food stamps to broadband access, all of which could affect Ohioans dramatically.
Thousands of pages of budget proposals, a nearly $75 billion spending plan. And inside those pages are several issues the Ohio House and Senate are trying to find middle ground on. When it comes to income taxes, both the House and Senate want cuts. The House, 2%, and the Senate by 5%.
What's the most important thing we can do is if we don't need it, give it back in tax cuts.
The problem with that is that for the average person making the median income in Ohio, that only gives you $22 a year. So what it gives back to Ohioans versus what it cuts out of important programs that we need to provide for childcare, to provide for healthcare, to make sure that our schools are properly funded, doesn't sound like it's worth it to me.
Proposed changes in the Ohio Senate's budget plan would put more restrictions on who is eligible for the state's SNAPS benefit program, also known as food stamps. The Greater Cleveland Food Bank says those changes would affect 100,000 Ohioans, but supporters say it's needed to cut down on food stamp fraud and abuse. As we previously reported, the Ohio House has a budget plan to put $190 million in grants for broadband internet where no lines exist. The Senate's plan took that money out, leaving lawmakers to later decide whether or not to use federal coronavirus relief dollars or general revenue. The Senate version also prevents local governments from operating broadband networks where private sector companies operate, which cities like Fair Lawn are fighting to keep. When it comes to funding for public schools, the Ohio House and Senate each have a different plan for deciding how much a district should contribute. Both plans directly fund school vouchers, but would spend different amounts on the EdChoice scholarships.
The taxpayers, many of whom who don't have children at schools, but many who do, they want to make sure that they know what the cost is and that cost isn't going to be changing from year to year in a significant way.
We're hearing that the president of the Senate is prioritizing funding for privately owned schools over public schools, which is a problem in terms of national perception and national rankings for our schools.
And lastly, the House budget does not recommend that a higher percent of the state's general revenue fund be used for public libraries, which would reduce funding by about $22 million. However, the Senate's budget plan would restore that funding.
So this is the only area in which I agree with the Senate's version of the budget. Library funding should be at that higher level.
All right, so as you can see, there is still a lot on the table. The Ohio House and Senate have until Wednesday to get their budget proposal to Governor DeWine for an approval. Kevin?
Thanks, Meg. Now, deadlines are tricky things when it comes to politics. What happens if the budget doesn't make Wednesday's deadline or Governor DeWine vetoes any of the items in it?
Well, lawmakers in the House and Senate will have to pass an interim budget to keep state services running. Then they'll continue working until they reach an agreement. Now, you may be wondering, how often have they not gotten a budget proposal to meet the deadline? Only 3 times in the last 30 years. The most recent being in 2019, when lawmakers took an extra 3 weeks for a budget proposal compromise. Kevin?
Thanks, Meg.